Community, action, change. Together, we can make a difference. As small businesses face closure, the vegan movement is at a crossroads. But with your support, we can uplift those who are driving real change. Join us for the first Vegans Explore Community Town Hall. Let's unite, share ideas, and create solutions that help our local vegan businesses thrive. Limited spaces available. Register today.
Hey everybody, Sean Russell. I am so excited it probably doesn't look like it, but I am actually excited to kick this off because it has been a long time since I've spoken publicly about what we're doing with SoFlo Vegans or Vegans Explore at this point. So the whole idea of the town hall is to just start to get a dialogue going. We have the link out there, so if you want to register to be part of the conversation, you can be a part of that. But it's an opportunity, whether you're watching live or you're watching later in our community, you can get some ideas of how you can support and get an idea of what's actually happening. And we're seeing a lot of closures of vegan restaurants. That is a huge thing that we're seeing right now. There's a lot of sanctuaries that are struggling to, purchase food and get the necessities to take care of animals. So the goal of these conversations are to bring up some of those topics and maybe bring on people who have solutions that are implementing things in their cities that are making a difference. So we'll be bringing guests onto future town halls so you can not only hear, but you can engage, leave comments. So if you're watching this on YouTube, Facebook, or any of the other channels, you can go into your comments. And if they want to ask a question, you'll be able to do that as well. But for the majority of this town hall, consider this orientation, first day of school, just laying the land. So if you even watch this back later, you can watch this as an entree into future town halls and let you know about what we're doing right now to solve for these issues that we're dealing with. Vegans Explore. Now, Vegans Explore is the evolution of our SoFlo Vegans organization. I started SoFlo Vegans back in 2014, but we officially launched 2017. And the whole goal of that organization was to make South Florida a global hotspot for veganism. And what we were able to do during that 7-year stretch was to really listen to what the community is going through, what businesses are doing, and what's working, what's not working. And there's a lot of things we were throwing against the wall just to try to figure out solutions. And throughout that time, we've built a lot of relationships. We've seen a lot of businesses go and come. So it's, what we're experiencing right now, if you're new to the movement or probably getting more involved into everything that's going on, it's not unusual for these vegan businesses to be shutting down. What I do see as being unusual is the fact that I'm seeing it happen in so many cities. And through the nature of what we're doing with Vegans Explore is we are connected to all of these different communities. Right now, we're in the entire state of Florida. We're in Las Vegas, we're in Hawaii, Los Angeles, we're working to be in Atlanta and Japan, and our goal is to be in 200 cities by the end of next year. Now, being tapped into all those different communities, you also see through our global tour, we do go to a lot of these different places and create content, we're noticing the same thing. And our contribution to the community is focusing on marketing, not only the promotion side of things, which you see a lot of content creators do, but how do businesses take on their own marketing, implement best practices, so that way they're showcasing their brand, they're showcasing their service and their food, or whatever it is that you sell. If you're at a farmer's market, you're at a festival, you're standing out, because there's a lot of people, organizations and businesses that probably do what you do, but how do you stand out from that? So the whole goal of what we're doing with Vegans Explorers is not just what we were doing with Soulful Vegans of going to the restaurant, shooting content, social, creating events. It's all of that, and it's providing an online resource for business owners, creatives, to be able to access those best practices, not just from me, but from other leaders in the field, and not even just in the vegan field. It's looking at best practices in general. So these are the sort of conversations we are going to be having, not just on the town halls, but through the content that we create. So before I continue on, I want to share a video that's essentially our About Us video, where you can learn more of the heart of what we're doing and why we're doing what we're doing. And then when we come back from that, I will go ahead and share some more information about Vegans Explore.
At Vegans Explore, we believe in something bigger than just a lifestyle. We believe in a world where compassion and sustainability drive us forward. We're not just promoting veganism, we're building a future where local businesses and nonprofits become the heart of thriving, connected communities. By 2025, we aim to impact over 200 locations, and we can't do it without you. By joining us, you're not just becoming a part of a movement, you're taking a step towards shaping the future. You'll gain access to exclusive content, videos, podcasts, guides, and live events, all designed to inspire and empower you on this journey. But this is just the beginning. Stay connected with our revolutionary mobile app, your guide to everything vegan, from global destinations to the best plant-based spots in your neighborhood. It's more than an app, it's your personal gateway to a more compassionate world. Together, we can create real change. Support Vegans Explore, and let's spread the message of compassion, sustainability, and health. One city, one person at a time. A brighter, kinder future is within our reach. Let's build it together.
Yeah, so that speaks more to the heart of what we're creating. And before I go into the actual site and talk a little bit about the app and a few other projects that we are working on right now, there's one thing I forgot to say, and it's a pretty huge thing in terms of what it is that we're doing, is that after years of debating and holding off on it, we are officially a nonprofit organization. We're in the process of working to get our 501c3 designation. But yes, we are a nonprofit organization. I've decided to turn this idea that I've been working on, honestly, over the last 28 years of my life, I've decided to turn it over to the public, because this is bigger than me, and I want this to be able to live past me and be continuing on supporting communities and growing and growing and growing. So our goal is to support anyone that's interested in the vegan lifestyle and looking at it from a different perspective. Everyone, you could continue doing what you're doing. I'm not saying that what you're doing is wrong. I'm saying what I'm looking to do with Vegans Explore is bring people together and start talking about new ways of doing things. And we all have the same goal in mind. And I feel like with the support and focus on community, we're going to be able to make amazing things happen. And with that being said, in terms of community, that is at the heart of everything that we do here at Vegans Explore. And it's partially why I decided to go vegan. If you watch the podcast or you've seen me speak before, you probably know my story, but I'll assume most of you don't. I started my vegan journey in 2008. I knew that I wanted to do something for my health, and all roads, did the paleo, did the keto, tried all these different diets. And I spoke to a friend, not a friend, actually a friend, a coworker that was vegetarian. And while they were explaining about being vegetarian, they mentioned vegan. And I said to myself, whoa, that sounds extreme. I'm about two things away from being that. Let me be vegan for that reason. And, for about a year, I was rocking and rolling. I was doing a good job. Went to LA for an event of all places. The irony's not lost on me now. And just fell into old habits because I wasn't really like eating fruits and vegetables, very transitional, what you could describe as a transitional vegan, still eating the SAD diet. And it wasn't until a couple of years later, around 2013, that I said to myself, you know what? Let me do this again, but this time let me do what I'm comfortable doing, and that's building communities. I've been building communities for decades now. And I'm like, let me build a community around this veganism. In that way, I can learn more. I can do what I love. I can create video content. I can support these businesses. And that's how Skillful Vegans became a thing. And now we're looking at expanding through the Vegans Explore nonprofit and just doing some amazing things. So let's start using some visuals, because I can listen to myself speak all day long and share what we're doing right now in, okay, I've been in Zoom land all day today. There we go, share screen. All right. All right, so I'm sharing my screen, a little Inception land there. So we're gonna go to Vegans Explore. And yeah, so when you go to Vegans Explore, right now, what I do want to say, if you watch that video, we are working on an app right now. It is in development. So so the website is where you'll get most of the information. Of course, you can go on to any of our socials. We're really active on Instagram. We're going to be rolling out more content on all of our channels. But for right now, you can watch most of the content we create on Instagram. And then all of these images with the icons that says click button to watch, these are all videos that explain the sections. So we'll be having a lot of those throughout the page, very similar to what you watched. Now, as far as our communities, we have the Vegans Explore Club. This is the way that you can directly support our organization as well as get some really cool perks. The more people that support and become part of the club is the more that we can do specific to the areas where they're signing up. It starts at 25 bucks a year, and you do get some cool perks depending on what you do. We have the pre-vegans, and this is designed for anybody that is starting their journey or needs support with helping somebody start their journey. It breaks down stories from some of the top names in the vegan space, as well as an ongoing catalog of best practices, tips, interviews. We have the book that started it all. So you can check out the pre-vegans community, and then we have the bodybuilding vegan community, which is from John Thomas, the bodybuilding vegan, who is a board member and community manager for Vegans Explore. And I helped them put this together, create a lot of content for it. I'm telling you, it's a ridiculous amount of value. He really knows what he's doing, and definitely check it out. And then we have the community town halls, which we'll be doing more frequently. The next one will definitely have some guests on it. This is really just the orientation to get you. If you sit through and listen to the whole thing, you'll be able to know a little bit more about the organization. And that was the whole point of this first town hall. And then we have a global tour. So the only events that we feature on here are the events that we're actually going to be at, whether we have a booth, we're sponsoring it, or having myself or a member of our team as a speaker. That's an added advantage of working with us, because then we'll be doing additional promotion for your organization. And the other thing that we haven't really talked about, because we're just so focused on getting the nonprofit and getting everything working, is that we also work with hundreds of vegan brands around the world. And our goal is to pair those brands up with opportunities that are going to support them. And at the same time, we're working with events to find the right brands that would be a good fit for them. So if that's another advantage of working with us, if you want to be paired with different brands and have us support you with that, in addition to the content we can create for you if we're physically there, we'll add you to our global tour. And then there's some other really cool things that I'm not ready to talk about that we'll be doing on those tours, starting with the Vegan Block Party on November 16th. We'll be shooting some really cool stuff for a big project that we'll talk about probably at the end of the year. Then we have our podcast. Right now, we have the Vegans Who Live podcast, which is going on season 3 right now, almost to season 4, about 2 episodes at the time of this recording away from season 4. Great duo, dynamic duo of John Thomas and Brooke Sellers. Have the honor of being their brand manager, and just to see the growth and the progression of both of their businesses, and what they're bringing to the table for Vegans Explore. I'm extremely blessed, and this is what we're doing. We're a podcast network. We're always looking for new shows to put onto the network as well. So in the future, we'll be scouting for people who may want to start their own podcast. You have an audience, because we definitely want to invest in you in order for you to continue to grow. And we'll have a conversation. We are going to be rolling out the Pre-Vegans podcast, as well as the Vegans Who Live podcast, and maybe a couple of other shows, but be on the lookout for those coming really, really soon. And then we have our community partners program. So just like as an individual on the club side of things, you can support us from the partner side. And that comes with its own list of perks and things like videos, mentions on our podcast, and access to our circle community. So we have a circle community now where you can log in, speak to other people that are part of the community, get access to exclusive content. We have courses, and we're just going to be adding more and more things in the months to come. So yeah, I just wanted to make sure that I gave you guys an overview of where we are as an organization. Inception. Okay, how do I? There you go. Bam! StreamYard. I actually like StreamYard a lot. It makes it very easy. I'm sure I can use OSB or whatever, but StreamYard is where it's at. And that's not a commercial. So yeah, so there's a lot of cool things that we're doing with Vegans Explore. But the very first thing is we want to establish in those cities that I mentioned earlier that you can find on our website, start hosting events, and not even like big events. We do have a few big events coming up that I do want to talk about, but doing more smaller events, just bring a group of 50 people to 100 people together, just so you can get to know each other. Our work with other organizations, so we do want to find out who's in those cities that we're working in, and work with them and figure out a way that we can work together to just bring everything up. And the strength of what we do is the idea that, because we are connected to all these different communities, and in a way where we're boots on the ground, that is almost a way for us to collectively take the strength of all those communities and find opportunities, find funding sources. So if there are organizations that are struggling, we can either support them with the marketing, helping them fundraise, or we can support them with direct donations through the way of running emergency campaigns. So these are all the things that are possible with what we're doing with Vegans Explore. And right now it's go time. Every day or every other day, I'm hearing about a new restaurant closing or sanctuaries shutting down. And there are hundreds of organizations out there who are focusing on very specific things. And I feel what we're focusing on is overdue. It's focusing on supporting the people who are supporting the movement. And that has always been my intention with Vegans Explore and SoFlo Vegans. It's, how do we support the business owners? How do we support the animal rights activists? How do we support the creatives that are out there burning themselves out? Because sometimes you got to make tough choices in order to keep this thing going. And I know that from firsthand experience, where this is it. This is my purpose. This is why I'm on this planet. It's to build communities that are economically sustainable. That is because I've done it so many times and it wasn't sustainable, and you're not helping anybody that way. So the focus with Vegans Explore is to help start these communities, figure out a new model, and be able to make sure that people can continue their passion and continue the outreach and the effectiveness that they are. Yeah, that's basically it, guys. So we'll be planning another town hall, but like I said, this would be with actual guests on, and we'll be talking about a very specific topic, and that will be promoted and pushed through all our socials and whatnot. But for this one, I really just wanted to give people an opportunity to sneak in through the back door and just listen to where we are as an organization. And like I'll go over the cities one more time just in case you didn't hear it. We're in this entire state of Florida. And the way our model works is we have community managers in each of these cities, people who are already doing things and making moves. And we empower those community managers with everything that we've put together, and we grow out. We grow out very grassroots style. And that's the way that it happens. It's a slow churn and slow burn. And if you have enough of those pieces boiling together, that's how you make magic happen. And that's how we make this community stronger. So thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you go to vegansexplore.com or Vegans Explore in any of our socials. I'm curious if you hear this, whenever you hear this, you might have been watching this live, or you might watch it later in a video that I put up somewhere. In the comments, let me know what city you're from and how we can support you, because we're always looking for that next city. We're looking at Austin, we're looking at a couple other places that we want to reach out to this year. But let us know, and I will definitely contact. Our team will connect, and we'll continue moving this forward. So thank you, guys.